vice president 2 years, and as treasurer in multiple terms as division representative. Mark started and ran the chapter's evaluation program. In 2006, the Glenda Houston Football Co-Association honored Mark with its Distinguished Service Award for his contributions and service to the game of football and the community. Tonight, the members of the Houston Football Officials Chapter work with a heavy heart and ask that you join us in a moment of silence.
The rain is staying away here at Turner Stadium, but the wind is kicking up as we got a 20-mile-an-hour wind pushing out of the south as we are getting set to go for this 16-6A matchup between the Atascocita Eagles and the Conroe Tigers here in Week 10. Atascocita coming into tonight 8-1. They're 4-1 in district with their lone loss coming against the Woodland Tigers back on October 3rd. They are on a 3-game winning streak after a 48-7 victory last week against Kingwood here at Turner, but it's homecoming for them as they're facing the 3-5 Conroe Tigers, and they're sitting 0-4 in district, and they have not had the season that they've really expected to have. And you've really got to wonder what kind of changes they're going to be making coming into next season, but this is the second to last game for them, the last game for the Atascocita Eagles. Hello, everybody. J.W. Smith alongside Brent Hallmark coming to you live tonight from Turner Stadium in Humble, Texas. And Brent, like I was saying, I mean, it's the last game for the Atascocita Eagles, but Conroe's got another one coming up next week, and you know that they're going to give Atascocita the best they've got.
They're going to definitely do it because right now Conroe's playing for pride, they're playing for honor, and a lot of their underclassmen are playing to show what they can do in terms of what they can do for next year's team.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is it's not the season. There's no postseason for them, so they're a team with nothing to lose. And I think that Conroe or Atascocita might tonight coming into this game. I mean, they're riding a really high horse. They've got one loss on the season, like I said, coming to that in that Woodlands game. But other than that, they're scoring 48 points per game. And last week they scored exactly 48 points, which is about the exact average for them. And, I mean, the power they have on offense, but the thing I'm worried about for the Eagles tonight is them taking this game really lightly, going into a bye week next week and then a playoff game against Klein Collins in week 1 of the playoffs. But Conroe, I think you're going to see them give their best game, and that's where they stand right now, I believe.
Well, Coach Stump knows pretty much how the scenario is going to work out for the playoffs. I would be willing to bet that he is going to have them focused on, hey, we can't let up now.
Yeah.
We've got to bring our A game out regardless who we play. If it's the Woodlands, if it's Summer Park, if it's Conroe, right now we've got this. And this is the last regular season game for Atascocita. They got the bye week next week. Mm-hmm. And that's a good opportunity for them to be able to do a little bit of scouting, do a little bit of healing.
Yeah, definitely.
And get ready for that first round, because that first round is going to be a big challenge for them.
Well, yeah, the Klein Collins is no joke, and they know that, and I think you're going to see them using this game almost as a tune-up, but you still have to take it seriously as a district game because you don't want to lose your last game of the season and go into the playoffs on a loss. But I can see a team like Atascocita has been very disciplined most of the year. They've got great leaders: Niall Campbell, Coy Fairman, Devion Boyd, Patrick Taylor, Cameron Jones. All those guys on this team have been leaders, and they're not only leaders in the locker room, but they're leaders in the stat books. I mean, Campbell last week, he put up video game numbers against the Kingwood Mustangs, their rival. You expect rivalry games to be a little bit closer than what that one was, but last week Niall Campbell finished it with 12 receptions for 209 yards and 4 touchdowns, and that's something you really don't see. Most of that was in the first half.
Well, I think everybody was a little bit surprised with how that game went. It looked like, on paper, that it was going to be a real hard battle and just a knockdown drag-out, but Atascocita comes out, takes advantage of Kingwood's 5 fumbles in the first half, 2 more in the second half, and walks away with a 48-7 victory. I think it pretty much stunned everybody that how just one-sided that game really was. But it was because in a lot of cases, Kingwood shot themselves in the foot. Atascocita took advantage of it.
Well, that's exactly right. And you're like you said, Atascocita really took advantage of Kingwood shooting themselves in the foot, and I've never seen a team come out that way until maybe Sunday when the Texans did something similar. But we're going to go ahead and go silent here for the national anthem here at Turner Stadium. About 1 minute till the clock reaches 0. We're going to be coming to you live for this game, 16-6A matchup. We'll be right back as the national anthem is about to be played.
Now please stand with us as we honor America, our brave servicemen and women that protect our freedoms, with the singing of our national anthem tonight, presented by the Atascocita High School Choir Department under the direction of Joe Weir, Carl Brayton, and Samantha Eludasan.
That was the national anthem being sung by a choir out here right at the 50-yard line on the home sidelines, wearing all red in the Atascocita colors. It's homecoming here in Turner Stadium for the Eagles. And like I was saying earlier, there's a southeast wind from out of the southeast at 23 miles an hour. And if you're watching the video replay right now, which we're live with audio, but video replay, you can see the color guard out there barely being able to hold on to their flags. And I wonder how both of these teams run a spread offense, Brent, but Atascocita is really going to air the ball out tonight, and I wonder if they're going to keep it on the ground with that kind of wind.
Well, one of the strategies that they can use on offense, and both sides can actually capitalize on this, is when they're going with the wind, utilize your passing game as much as possible. Against the wind, go with the run.
Yeah, and Atascocita does do that, and last week against Kingwood, you saw it, Patrick Taylor really lit it up. He's averaging 7 yards a carry, and you can literally not even throw the ball, and if you're averaging 7 yards a carry, you're getting, that's touchdowns every drive no matter what. And then, but it's just this Atascocita team, every time I look at the stat sheet, it just feels like I'm looking at something.
The coin toss was won by Atascocita. They deferred their choice to the second half.
So there you have it. Atascocita has won the toss, and they're deferring to the second half. So Conroe will have the ball first. But like I was saying, this Atascocita team has so many weapons. If Niall Campbell's having an off night, you're going to see Fairman getting the ball more. If Fairman and Niall Campbell are both having off nights, it's going to go to Taylor or Jones, and then Davion Boyd, he can take off running on his own. And it's just you can't key on one guy. You can't try to shut one guy down because somebody else is going to step up for this team.
And with this being Atascocita's last game before the playoffs, I think you're going to see them utilize everybody. They want to keep everybody tuned. They want to keep everybody focused. And I think we're going to be in for a really good game. You got the team that's focusing on the playoffs in sort of like a background type fashion, while you've also got another team that is focusing on playing for pride, playing for just their own self-worth.
Well, they're seeing this. I mean, if you're Conroe, you're really seeing this as a playoff game in and of itself. This is the last game. You're playing the Atascocita Eagles. These are the big guys in the league. I mean, you've already played you've already played the Woodlands if you're Conroe, but Atascocita is just as good, and you're trying to come out here and get some redemption. And I think this is going to be a game where you see Conroe really turn it up, because there's not much else you can do. You got College Park next week, then you're done. So leave it all on the field tonight.
Exactly. I think you're going to see Conroe just take the playbook and just use everything that they can. Maybe some improv that they might even think of right now. But don't you know what these boys would do if they actually could pull out a win?
Oh, it would be a pandemonium. It'd be like a Super Bowl victory for these guys in Conroe. As David Heaton is getting set to kick it off, and we are underway here at Turner Stadium. That ball is kicked deep down towards the 6-yard line and fielded at the 6, and it's going to be taken towards the far side of the field, and he's going to be corralled at the 25-yard line and brought down. So they'll start the ball at the 20. Looks like they're going to mark him at the, there's a lot of people of the 26-yard line. So here come the Conroe Tigers on their first drive of the game.
Yeah, you could see that Justin Campbell was the one that led the Eagles on that takedown.
So here come the Conroe Tigers. It's going to be Colby Kizzy in the backfield. And their big wide receivers, Cameron Williams, number 5. He's lined up in the slot on the near side. He's waiting the gun. Here it comes. He drops back to pass, looking left. He tosses quick towards the left side, and it's caught. Now it's going to take it down to the 44-yard line, or mark him at the 43, out of bounds. Let's see who that was. I didn't see his number. It's going to be hard for us to identify numbers, as the Conroe Tigers actually have gold numbers on white jerseys and white pants tonight, so it's kind of hard to see it. I believe that was Kelly McFarland, number 1. As Kizzy's waiting the gun, 1st and 10, ball on the 43-yard line, dropping back to pass, tossing towards the near side. It's caught by Cameron Williams at the 41, and he's brought down, but it looks like it's going to be a loss of a yard. So 1 yard, well, actually they're going to say it's no gain, so 2nd and 10 is going to be the call here.
Well, Noah Celestine was right there for the Eagles to knock him out of bounds, to keep it virtually at no gain.
2 wide receivers far, 1 to the near side. Ball on the 42-yard line. It's going to be Kizzy rolling out to the far side. He's looking for Williams, and he just tosses it just outside of his reach. So not a very good throw there by Kizzy, but Williams was open, and had he caught it, it would have been a gain of about 6. So incompletion there, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Conroe Tigers. 11-12 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, even though the ball was a little bit underthrown, Justin Campbell for the Eagles was right there on the coverage to make sure that if he did catch it, he wasn't going to gain much.
Atascocita's defense playing pretty well this far this year as well. Last week they gave up 17 to Kingwood, but other than that, it hasn't been too much, as Kizzy takes that ball rolling out to the far side, and he's trying to find some room to run, but nobody open downfield, takes it himself, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a sack. And that's going to be 4th down and 11, maybe 12 here, and they're going to be punting the ball away.
Well, generally on series like this, and Atascocita's defense read that very well. Everybody shifted over there to that left-hand side when they saw Kizzy going over there. But generally these first series, it's just like a warm-up for your offense. See basics, see what works, what doesn't work.
So it's going to be Patrick Taylor back. I'm sorry, correction. It's going to be fielded at the 30 or the 25-yard line. And it's a muff punt. It's on the ground. It looks like it's going to be picked up by Conroe. No, it's a Atascocita ball. I thought Conroe had fallen on it as that ball got away.
Yeah, Devin Halford was the one for Atascocita that was able to fall on it, and that was very close.
It really was, Brent, and if that would have happened the way it looked like it was about to happen, that would have been a huge momentum shift back into the Conroe Tigers' favors. They would have had the ball on the 30 or the 25-yard line. But Atascocita able to hold on to it, so the ball is going to be marked at the 24. And here comes Davion Boyd and that strong Atascocita offense. Let's see what they do with the first play of the game. As they're in the gun, 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near, and they put a man in motion. It's going to be a fake handoff. Then they're going to hand the ball off to Taylor. Taylor's going to take it up the middle, but he's only going to gain maybe a yard. Yeah, he gains 1 yard. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 here.
Yeah, Robert Fortner for the Tigers read that very well, saw him coming over there on the right side and was able to bring him down.
Same formation in the gun. They're They're going to put a man in motion this time, and it's going to be a quick screen to the man in motion, who it's going to be Campbell. Campbell makes the catch at the 26-yard line, and he's going to be forced out of bounds. He takes the ball towards the near side, and they'll mark him out for a first down at the 35.
Yeah, Ruben Steele was right there knocking him out of bounds, but not before he was able to get the first down.
Campbell, very big game last week. 12 receptions, 209 yards, 4 touchdowns. He lines up in the slot most of the time. Coy Fairman lines up outside, and he's their leading leader in touchdowns, as Campbell is their leader in receptions. Waiting the gun is Boyd. Here it comes. And the handoff will go to Taylor, who stutter steps, finds a hole, and gets down towards the 42-yard line before he's brought down up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of 6 yards.
Yeah, it looked like Quentin Brown was able to get like a virtual shoestring tackle, tripping him up and bringing him down.
So second down and 4 here. It's windy, but the weather isn't too bad. We're in the mid-70s out. So it's actually really nice. It's low 70s now. Really nice night for football. Just the wind is the hard thing you got to deal with. Is that one's going to be a quick toss over to Fairman, and that's going to be incomplete. And that almost got picked off.
Yeah. Looked like Gerald Evans for the Tigers was in a little bit better position to catch that ball.
Well, Boyd just threw it a little bit behind Fairman, as you said, it was just almost picked off, and now it's going to be third down and 4 for the Eagles, and they're deciding what to do. As Coach Stump is calling in the play from the sidelines, waiting for looks like Boyd has the play now, waiting the gun, drops back to pass. Now he's going to step up, and it's going to be a design run. He takes it up the middle. He's at the 50, down to the 40, to the 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Eagles. And that one goes for 60 yards. On the ground, Davion Boyd, touchdown Eagles, 6-0 the score with 9:11 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Quentin Brown was trying to chase him down. I don't think that the Tiger defense was looking for that kind of play. I think they were more in like a pass configuration. But the result, 6 points.
Well, that touchdown is brought to you by Allspa's Ace Hardware. We're Ace Hardware and so much more. As we get set for the extra point here, David Heaton now to kick it through. He's got the wind at his back, so you shouldn't see too much of an issue here. The kick is up, and it will go through the upright, so it's 7-0 now. 9:11 to go.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Back here live from Turner Stadium, J.W. Smith and Brent Hallmark on the call as the Eagles have taken a 7-0 lead over the Conroe Tigers here early in the first. And Brent, that run by Boyd really sets the tone, and that's what the Eagles have done all year.
Well, the coverage was there by the Tigers, but the holes that were opened up, thanks a lot, to give credit where credit's due, to that Atascocita offensive line, and it enabled Boyd just to go down. And again, Quentin Brown was trying to chase him down, but he just had a little bit of a step over him.
So Heaton getting set to kick the ball off, ball sitting on the 40-yard line. He's got the wind to his back, so it will be kicked up and high, and it's going to come down right around the 10-yard line and field it. Here it comes. He's got a little bit of a seam, but it closes immediately as the return man is brought down at the 21-yard line by number 6. And that's going to be number 6 on the return. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong roster.
I think that's going to be Daryl Mims.
Daryl Mims, number 6 for the Conroe Tigers on the return. I looked at the wrong roster, and I was like, that was not Patrick Taylor. He plays for the Eagles. So it threw me off there for a second. So Kizzy will go work from the gun. Both offenses running a spread offense this year. He puts a man in motion, waiting for the snap. 1st and 10. It will be a zone read handoff to Lloyd, and Lloyd will take it towards the near side, and he gains about, looks like, they're going to mark him for 9, so it's a 1st down or 2nd down and 1 here for the Conroe Tigers. trying to get the ground game going, as the passing game really wasn't there for them on their first drive.
No, Andre Mims read that very well for the Eagles.
So 2nd and 1 here for the Conroe Tigers. Waiting for the snap. Gizzy in the gun. Fakes the handoff. Now he's got a man open in the slot. It's going to be caught at the 36-yard line, and he's going to drag the man down to the 40. And that was, looks like Jalen Allen, number 8, making the catch.
And Justin Campbell was right there as he caught the ball to bring him down.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 39-yard line. Conroe starting to move it a little bit. That's their first down of the game. And that will be a handoff up the middle, and that's going to be Lloyd taking it, but he's immediately met at the line of scrimmage. Actually, he loses a yard, so it's going to be 2nd down and 10, or correction. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Demarius Brooks just went right through that Tiger offensive line and was able to grab him for the loss of yardage.
So here comes Kizzy waiting for the snap. He's going to roll out. Now he's tossing. He's trying to connect with Lloyd. I'm sorry, trying to connect with Mims. That's going to be incomplete, as he was hit as he was throwing. So now it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Conroe Tigers. Now this is their 2nd visit to Turner Stadium this season. Their previous visit was a 25-7 loss to Summer Creek back on October 9th. So no stranger to this stadium are these Tigers out of Conroe, but they struggled then, and they're starting off not too terribly, as that's going to be a false start on 3rd and 10. So that's a mistake you don't want to be making at this juncture in the game early.
Before the snaps, false start on the offense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
You can hear that wind just blowing in the ref's mic down there. I mean, you can see the goalposts are actually wobbling too. I haven't seen it this bad this year.
No, even with a few weeks ago when we had that storm come through, this wind can be a factor, and is going to be a factor in this game.
Well, you won't see Conroe throwing much going into the wind, as that ball's going to be snapped. Now it's 3rd and 15, ball tossed over the middle, and it's almost picked off. No, it's going to be dropped. Almost picked off by number 36 of the Eagles. That's going to be Brandon Knight, the junior defensive back, and he just bobbled it and couldn't hold on.
And he gave it his best shot. You know he wishes he could have that one back. But if anything, it's going to force the 4th down.
So 4th and long here for the Tigers. Kicking into the wind. Back deep is Devin Hefford. And it's going to be a short kick falling right at the 40-yard line, but it takes a Conroe bounce, and it goes to the 33 before it goes out of bounds. So here come the Atascocita Eagles. Going to go try to score again. With 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 the score. Eagles leading the Tigers. This is Atascocita's final game of the season, as their bye week is right before the playoffs. A very favorable bye week for them. They've already locked up a playoff spot. 2nd place is theirs in 16-6A, regardless of the outcome of tonight and the outcome of next week. So they will be playing Klein Collins in the first round. In the pistol is Boyd. Waiting in the backfield behind him is Taylor. Taylor goes in motion towards the near side. And that's going to be encroachment on the defense, as it looked like the defensive line was just getting a little antsy. Oh, they're going to call that on the offense. It was an illegal snap, so it looks like the center might have just moved the ball a little bit too. And so it's going to be a penalty against Atascocita.
And this is one of those opportunities that the Tigers need to take advantage of. Go in there, disrupt the backfield, and have at it.
So 1st and 15 for the Eagles, 7:30 on the clock. 3 wide receivers to the near side, and trips is going to be an option as they're going to pitch it to Taylor. Taylor's going to take it down towards the near side to the 30, 40, 45, down to the 50-yard line, and rolls down at the 47, but there's a flag on the play, and it's in the area of holding.
Well, it looked like Von Taylor for the Tigers was bringing him down, but yeah, it looks like we're going to probably see this one come back.
With the way that one went, it definitely looked like a hold, but we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be right back. You're listening to TexanLive.com. Don't go anywhere.
At Panera, we decided a long time ago to avoid the easy road and switch to antibiotic-free chicken. That decision set a lot of things in motion. So now it's not just chickens raised this way. It's more ingredients you can trust. Which has taught us a lesson. Sometimes, what you think is the harder road turns out to be the only one worth being on. Panera Bread. Live consciously. Eat deliciously.
Back here live from Turner Stadium. 7:22 to go here in the first quarter. Atascocita, we thought it was a hold, but it actually was a chop block against the Eagles, so that's going to back them up again 15 yards. So 2 straight penalties against the Eagles, and that's not the way you want to start your second drive. Because, I mean, you're trying to get ready for the playoffs. You can't be making these kind of mistakes.
No, and you know that the coaches are going to be addressing this big time. But here's an opportunity for Conroe to take the momentum and run with it themselves.
So the Eagles have first in Huntsville here, as it's, I mean, literally 30 yards have been docked from them. So it's first and 30. Trips down to the near side, 1 to the far. Boyd standing in the gun. He waits for the snap. Now he's going to quick throw it over to Campbell, who's going to catch it but drop the ball. And it's incomplete. And it's going to be second down and 30 here for the Eagles. That Campbell just trying to run before he caught it. So Coach Stump called the play, and now they've got it. Looking at the play sheet on his wrist is Boyd. Campbell lined up in the slot. Trips to the near side, same formation as last time, waiting for the snap. Same play, no, he's going to fake, pump fake. Now he's looking for somewhere to throw. He's under pressure, and he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield and sacked as he had nobody open.
No, and Dalen Jefferson for the Tigers came over. He was actually going for the running back at the time, and he saw that Boyd still had the ball, came back, brought him down, and now we're looking at 3rd and long.
3rd and extremely long. I haven't seen the Eagles in this position at all this year, personally. So we'll see what there's not many plays you can dial up with that are designed for 3rd down. Trips to the near side, tossing towards the far side of the field, and it's overthrown. And that was going to be Fairman who was targeted, but incomplete. So it'll be 4th down for the Eagles, and they're definitely going to punt here.
And this is where Conroe can take advantage of it, because regardless of the punt, they should have pretty good field position. Now, Atascocita is kicking into the wind, so let's see what a factor that can be on the punt.
So Heaton gets standing in his own end zone about a yard deep, waiting for the snap. Here it comes, and he will get the ball away as they were rushing, trying to block. Good punt. It's going to fall down on the 41-yard line and take a bounce. That'll go as officially from the end zone where he kicked it, about a 70-yard punt. That wind plays a huge factor.
The wind was a factor when you're kicking with its help, especially with the way that it's blowing here in the stadium. That just goes to show you, take advantage of everything that you possibly can.
So Conroe gets the stop they needed. Atascocita helped them with it with a couple of penalties. So 6:32 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 the score. Wind in the faces of the Conroe Tigers. Colby Kizzy coming out. Got 2 wide receivers to the near side, to the far side, 1 to the near, waiting in the gun. Ball at the 31-yard line. He's going to hand the ball off to Lloyd, who's going to take it to the near side. Correction, that is number 11.
And Norris Celestine read that very well. He was following more of the ball than he was actually the player, and that's exactly what you need to do in a game like this. The result, only about a couple of yards.
So Kizzy gets a couple of yards on the keeper, waiting in the gun again. They're in that formation most of the night. He puts a man in motion, and he will hand the ball off to Mims, who will take it towards the far side, and he finds a hole. He's at the 40, down to the 45, to the 50. Now he's going to get wrapped up by the last man before he broke free, and it's a first down, and he's brought down at the 46-yard line inside Atascocita territory.
And Brandon Knight just literally reached out with one arm because he was already down and just grabbed what he could and forced him out of bounds.
Very good stop there by Knight. And now they're going to back it up as there was a flag on the play. On the far side, it's at a position of the field that it's kind of hard to see it, but it looks like it was a hold. Usually when you see something spring like that.
Holding on the offense, number 43. That's a 10-yard penalty, second down.
So a 10-yarder, he's going to back it up and negate everything they just gained. And like I said, Brent, I mean, usually if you see a runner get that free and that fast, it's usually going to be a hold if there's a flag on that. So.
Yes, that is a fact.
Trips to the far side, 2nd and 19 for the Tigers. Waiting in the gun is Kizzy. Steps back. Now he's looking for somebody, dropping back, still dropping back. It's an attempted screen. It's almost intercepted by the defensive lineman as he's trying to get rid of the ball.
Oh.
And that was number 44.
Yes. Demarius Brooks looked like he might have had it. Again, another bobbling, but his momentum was just keeping. He just couldn't hang on to it.
So Brooks almost had a really amazing catch, and if he had been able to stay on his feet and catching that, that would have been 6. The Eagles are now at the Conroe Tigers now at 3rd and 19. The Eagles defense still holding strong here. Officially, the Conroe Tigers have not entered Eagles territory. So that's going to be a handoff up the middle. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be blown dead as forward progression was stopped. And that was Mims on the carry, unable to do anything with it. So it's going to be 4th down and 19. 5:23 to go, the clock's still running.
No, he just ran into a sea of just red jerseys. There's pretty much nothing he could do.
So Conroe getting set to punt. Devin Hefford waiting for it. He's standing on the 47-yard line. Here comes the kick, and it's a flag on the play. So they're going to blow it dead, and it's going to be against the Tigers. Let's see what the official call was. I believe it was a false start.
Before the snap, we have a false start on the offense, number 31. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So another 5 yards backing them up, and they're kicking into the wind in their face. So this is going to make this kick even harder. I mean, you've got the return man standing on the 40-yard line here, Brent.
They're expecting like about a 20-yard kick.
It's a low kick as it's going to take a good bounce for the Conroe Tigers, and they're going to fall on it at the 45. And it's down there, so Atascocita getting the ball in a very favorable field position inside of Conroe's territory because they were facing a 20-mile-an-hour headwind with that kick.
And as you said earlier, you can even see the wind blowing. The goalposts are all shaking. They look like pine trees bending back and forth in the wind, and I can only imagine what this is doing to other spread teams throughout the area tonight with this kind of weather. Definitely making it a challenge for them all.
For sure. So trips to the near side, ball on the 46-yard line. Waiting in the gun is Boyd. He's gonna pitch the ball to Taylor. He's gonna take it towards the near side. He's got a lot of blockers, and he's gonna gain some yardage there. It's a gain of 9. It looks like they're gonna mark it as a first down and a gain of 10.
Well, Marcus Sweet and Ruben Steele were right there working together to knock him out.
So they're gonna. Okay, they are. I saw the second down on the sticks, and I thought they had been short, but it's 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball on the 46-yard line now. Clock at 4 minutes, 11 seconds here in the first quarter. Immediately under pressure is Boyd, but he escapes the pressure. Now he's going to keep it himself, going down the sidelines, and he's forced out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Very good improv there by Boyd.
Well, it looked like Boyd had a little bit of a problem with the snap, and Dalen Jefferson for the Tigers was right in there creating the pressure. Boyd really had no choice but to take it himself and get whatever he could with it.
Coming into tonight, Davion Boyd, very, very crazy stats. 177 completions out of 264 attempts, so he's throwing a 68% completion rating. 2,545 yards with 34 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. As he's waiting for the snap again, he's going to hand the ball off to Taylor, who takes it up the middle. He's got a lot of room to run. He's down to the 20-yard line, down to the 15, and brought down at the 12. And that's a first down for the Atascocita Eagles.
Yeah, Quentin Brown was there for the Tigers to bring him down and save potentially 6 points.
So Patrick Taylor Jr., he's going to get the ball again. He takes it up the middle, trying to find some room to run. He gets outside and goes towards the near side of the field. He's brought down at the 3-yard line. And now Atascocita going with the hurry up, trying to get lined up again. And now Conroe is calling a timeout, as they were just caught off guard there with that hurry up. So 3:39 to go here in the first quarter. Atascocita threatening 2nd and 1. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. This one's brought to you by Tin Roof Barbecue. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me.
Back here live from Turner Stadium. 3:39 on the clock. 2nd down and inches, but the ball is inside the 5 for the Atascocita Eagles. It's on the 3. Waiting in the gun is Boyd. He's got 2 wide receivers to the near side to the far. He's going to hand the ball off to Taylor. He's going to fall towards the end zone, but he's going to fall short at the 2-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and goal.
Dominic Nacioto was the one for the Tigers that was able to get a shoestring tackle preventing the touchdown.
So here comes the handoff to Taylor, and Taylor's going to take it up the middle, and he will score. Touchdown, almost untouched, and it's going to be 13-0 Eagles here late in the first quarter. Very good run there by Boyd. I said that again. Very good run there by Taylor from the handoff from Boyd, as Heaton's coming out to kick the ball through the uprights. Those bending and swinging uprights in this incredibly strong wind.
That can actually make it a challenge for both teams' kickers.
So here comes the extra point attempt. It is up, and it will go through the uprights. So 14-0 the score, 3:30 to go. Eagles leading the Tigers. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You're listening to TexanLive.com. This one's brought to you by All Spas, Ace Hardware. We are Ace Hardware and so much more.
All Spas is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But All Spas is also a boutique featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, All Spas is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. All Spas is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
14-0 the score here at Turner. Atascocita leading Conroe after Davion Boyd hands the ball off to Patrick Taylor for his touchdown. His first touchdown of the night. And Atascocita is up here early, Brent.
Well, they're also taking advantage of the Conroe penalties that we've seen. I know the boys are focused on hitting that home run, but they've got to keep disciplined. They've
got to remember just, to just get base hits, essentially. I know we're using baseball analogies in a football game. As that one goes out of the end zone with the wind at his back, it just took off. But the baseball analogy really does work well here. I mean, it's a team that's trying to win the game with one play, but you got to remember, you got to play 4 quarters. And you can't win the game on one play. So
no, and you also can't hit the ball before it's pitched, and that's essentially how you can describe what some of the penalties, especially these false start penalties, are doing to the Tigers and their chances.
So Conroe is on a 4-game losing streak.
We had an offsides penalty on the kickoff. That'll be 5 yards tacked on to the end of the run. The ball will be placed at the 30-yard line. First down.
So ball is going to be placed at the 30 because of the offsides on the Atascocita kicking team. So 1st and 10, Colby Kizzy trying to get them the Conroe Tigers on the board. He's in the pistol this time, waiting for the snap. It's going to be a handoff to the running back, and he's going to be met in the backfield and dropped. And that was going to be number 20, Donovan Lloyd, on the carry.
Yeah, and he was met by Jackson Reed right there immediately, receiving the ball from Kizzy.
So 2nd down and 14 for the Tigers here on Atascocita's homecoming night of 2015, their final game of the season. Kizzy in the gun, drops back to pass after the fake. Stepping up in the pocket, he's under some pressure, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. And it's going to be another loss here for the Tigers.
Yeah, Nicholas Cowball was right there, read it very well, came through on that left side and led the sack.
So McFarland lined up on the near side. Kizzy in the gun. He's got Williams on the far side waiting. He's going to roll out to the far side looking for someone to throw to, and he's going to toss the ball, and it's going to be out of bounds. Incomplete pass. As Conroe is really struggling to get anything going here offensively. It's 4th down already and another 3 and out.
Well, what's going to make it really interesting, JW, is in the second quarter when they have to switch sides. Let's see what that does to both offenses.
Yeah, and this is that was a concern that I shared with Derek Jones, who was with me last week. As that kick is low, he's just trying to line drive it and get some kind of bounce on it. And he's going to be fielded at the 50-yard line, juking a couple of guys, taking it down to the 35 to the 33-yard line before he's brought down. That's number 23, Hafford, Devin Hafford, and good return there.
Yeah, he is chased down by Roy Kelly for the Tigers.
So another flag on the play, and this has not been a clean game thus far here in the first quarter with 2:08 to go. So we'll see what the call is. And usually whenever you see this kind of thing, it's going to go against the return team.
We have holding on the receiving team, number 82. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
So a 10-yard penalty against the Atascocita Eagles and another penalty here.
And as you were saying earlier, this is something that Atascocita does not need to get involved with, for lack of a better term, as they go into their bye week and getting ready for Klein Collins in the first round of the playoffs.
So the ball will be placed at the 47-yard line inside their own territory. The Eagles will come with a trips set to the far side. He's got Coy Fairman alone on the near side. Dropping back to pass, looking left to Fairman. Fairman is trying to find a way to catch the ball, and he's going to be incomplete just over his head, as that was some good defense by the Conroe Tigers defensive back.
DeAndre Pratt was right there on the coverage, and as you said, it was great defensive coverage to prevent the reception.
So Fairman unable to make the catch, but not due to a bad throw, but just due to some really good defense, and that's what Conroe has to do. They got to keep Atascocita from really pulling away here. It's already a 14-point lead, Brent, but you can't go down 21 this early in the game and expect to really have the momentum here. As that ball is going to be a handoff to Taylor. Taylor's going to try to find a hole. He does, down to the 40-yard line, and he's going to be brought down at the 33. So Taylor making another good run here.
Yeah, and he was met with by Blake Doolin for the Tigers. Pretty much trying to match him step for step, and was able to bring him down for the tackle.
And as I was talking about, you and I were talking about this before we came on the air. I was telling you how Atascocita just has all these weapons, and you know the passing game might not be there because of the wind, but Taylor has been given the ball, and he's really running well with it tonight. As he's going to get the ball, and it's going to be a fake to Taylor, and now it's going to be Boyd trying to find some room to run. He's got a lot of room. Down to the 20, 15, 10, 5. He's going to dive for the pylon, and it's a touchdown, Eagles, as he takes another one down 32 yards, and that's his second rushing touchdown of the night.
Oh, that was impressive. Ruben Steele was right on his heels, but once again, and this can make the difference. If you've got just like a step over the defender, That's all you need in order to get the touchdown.
And Davion Boyd is only a junior, Brent, and those kind of numbers, he's going to be a very highly sought-after player if he, by some colleges next year, if he hasn't already started entertaining some offers this year. But next year, if he continues on this kind of trend with these numbers, this is going to be a player that you're going to see a lot of schools looking at.
Oh, you know that some scouts are already looking at him.
Definitely at this point. I mean, that kick is going to go up and through the upright. So 21-0 the score. $1:30 to go here in the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. That one's also brought to you by All Spas Ace Hardware. We're Ace Hardware and so much more. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're listening to TexanLive.com.
All Spas is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But All Spas is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, All Spas is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. All Spas is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Back here live from Turner Stadium, J.W. Smith alongside Brent Hallmark on the call for you tonight. The score here is 21-0. The Atascocita Eagles are leading the Conroe Tigers, and this one might start getting out of hand early if Conroe can't do anything on this drive.
If anything, get 3 points. Just get on the board in the first quarter, and when you have the wind at your back in the second quarter, then let loose.
So that kick is going to be up and deep down to the 3-yard line. It's going to be fielded. And here comes the return man down to the 20-yard line. That's going to be Mims again, taking the ball down, and he fights for some extra yardage. And he is down at the 23-yard line. So 1st and 10 here for the Conroe Tigers. This cannot be another 3-and-out. You got to at least choose some clock here. If you're not going to score, you have to keep the Atascocita Eagles offense off the field. You can't let them stay warm and stay hot with their momentum.
And one strategy you don't see used too often, but it could be in situations like this with the wind, use as much of the clock as possible, force it to go into the second quarter where you had the wind at your back.
So in the gun is Kizzy waiting for the snap. He will take the snap. Now it's going to be a handoff to, it looks like it's Lloyd taking it up the middle. He's going to try to find some room to run, and he's going to take it for 9 yards before he's brought down.
And Nicholas Cabal was right there for the takedown.
And correction, that was Mims on the carry. So you've got the Conroe Tigers are not lacking in talent. They just have made a lot of mistakes this year, and that's really hurt them throughout the season. So that's why you see them at a 3-5 record. As Kizzy will hand the ball off again to Mims, who's going to bounce around a little bit, but get met at the line of scrimmage and brought down. He gains a couple of yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, he pretty much ran into Demarius Brooks for the Eagles, who just pretty much led him about another 10 yards in bringing him down.
So 2nd down and 8 to go. Ball's on the 35-yard line, and that's going to take us down to 26 seconds on the clock. They don't have to snap it here, and they can go to the second quarter, but it looks like they're going to go in the pistol, waiting for the snap as Kizzy, and he's going to fake the give, drops back to pass, looking for somewhere to go. Now he's under pressure, stepping up, trying to run it himself. He's going to get brought down. No, he's going to fall forward and gain 5 yards, and that was a very impressive ability to stay elusive for Kizzy, as he just got away from the sack and then a couple of tackles there.
Yeah, because once again, Demarius Brooks got in there, almost had him for the sack, but didn't. He was able to get that 5 yards, and then Jackson Reed was able to come up from the middle and bring him down for the tackle.
So that's going to do it for the first quarter. Your score here from Turner, 21-0, Eagles leading the Tigers. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're listening to TexanLive.com.